of accounting systems, there are 4 accounting systems essential for your business needs. And according to experts, they are extremely helpful for managing and understanding business finance. Today on SME Help, we'll be delving into that to find out the business angle to providing accounting support as a solution to businesses. With me is Mrs. Blessing Chisom Ebede, Senior Managing Partner and Founder, Tel Hills Global Resources. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you. My pleasure.
You're welcome. Now, when it comes to providing an accounting system in business, what does it mean? Educate us.
Okay, so providing a business accounting system is basically, I'm going to use the layman language, okay, so that, everyone will be able to understand. Basically, it's bookkeeping, okay? So you start with bookkeeping. The business keeps record of day-to-day activities, and then if there are adequate records, you can translate that to an accounting or an accounting report. Okay, there are so many accounting reports that a business can actually lay his or her hands on. Okay, so, and you not just translating it to an accounting, you should be able to interpret it. You should be able to analyze it. Okay, what is it? What does it mean for the business? Okay, what are the numbers? Okay, so just filing out reports out there, it's not just where it ends. It ends at explaining to the business owner what it means for his or her business.
Very nice. So while I was introducing this, I mentioned that there are 4 different accounting systems. So would you like to break it down and explain the 4 systems?
Yeah, so I would start with the reports. Okay, so there are 4 financial reports or management reports, as the case may be, that a business is supposed to look at from time to time. Number 1 is the profit and loss. So in an accounting term, we call it the income statement. So when you hear income statement, we are just talking about the profit and loss. So that tells you if the business is profitable, okay, what's your overhead, the expenses you make, probably daily, monthly, however you want to view the report. Because I would always advise it's best to wait at the end of the month to see such reports. Okay, you can also do that annually. The second report is the balance sheet. We call it the balance sheet. And that's a report that shows you your net worth. Okay, so we need to know what Tel Hills Global is worth. In terms of assets and liabilities. Okay, so you get to hear some businesses shutting down and they are saying that we are not being able to fund our liabilities anymore. Okay, so that report tells you what your net worth is. Okay, we also have another report which is called the cash flow report. So this is sort of the inflow and the outflow of just cash. Okay, the activities that was done with cash, whether cash at bank or cash in hand. Okay, so another report we look at is sort of the shareholders, the equity report. This is where we talk about the employees, the number of employees in the organization. Okay, what are their fees, the management fees. So that report is sort of an internal report. Okay, so these reports, these 4 reports can actually be made to the public. I mean, the public, there are so many organizations out there who publish their accounting reports. Okay, so, but for a business, for a small business, I will usually advise the profit and loss and the cash flow, because at that level, they are talking about numbers. They're talking about how it affects the running
business
of their business.
Yeah.
But for a company, you have to explore the 4.
The 4 of them.
Yeah.
Now, what you mentioned, it's work. So do you make use of software? Because 4 of them, the way you broke it down, you try to make it simple, but in my head, this is a whole
lot of accounts.
Yes,
actually.
It is. So do you make use of softwares to make the solution
Yes.
feasible?
So that's what we call accounting solution, accounting softwares. Accounting software is what you can't do without as a business owner. In fact, not having it is like not growing. if you ask me. We use accounting softwares to be able to generate this report. And of course, the accounting software starts from the bookkeeping itself. It helps you keep the books, okay, so you don't need to do manual bookkeeping anymore. Then it also helps you translate those records into these accounting reports I just made mention of. Yeah.
So how essential would you say the software is?
Oh my God, it is it is mind-blowing. I mean, every business owner who is not using an accounting software right now, it's not growing. Trust me. The business is not growing, it's not expanding. I mean, there is a whole lot you could do, you know, having an accounting software in place. So it is essential. You must have it because it helps you keep track of your performance, okay, of your business. It helps you make prompt decisions. I mean, you can't be waiting for when the manual records are ready before you get to know what is going on in your business. You can't do that. And if you don't even have an accountant, that worsens the whole matter, okay? So you can be getting your reports, the month of June just ended, you can be getting your reports in August. That doesn't make sense. But with an accounting software, you can get prompt report, like every day you can see what's going on. Anyways, if your team members are actually keying in the records on a daily basis, so you can look at it, you can look at your inventory and say, oh, we are running out of this particular stock, we need to reorder. You get, so it's something that helps. It makes life easy for every business owner.
Yeah, it makes life easy, but it actually does a lot. So like, how much do you think the software costs?
So we have a whole lot of softwares out there, and for us at Tech Hills, we use just two. And this too is because we have seen over the years that they are sustainable. It's a software that can grow with your business. Number one is QuickBooks. QuickBooks Online or QuickBooks Desktop. So they have the online version for small and medium business owners who, you know, who are not just in a particular place, they travel, you know, you can actually work from wherever you are. Okay, and we have the desktop version. The desktop sits in your office. It's sort of an offline version. So most businesses who pick up the desktop version are big businesses, companies who have like maybe 2 or 3 people in the accounting department, or they have other departments using the software. Okay, so you need to have a server where you connect those team members to, so they work simultaneously. Okay, so we also use Sage 50 accounting, you know, but we just do the desktop alone. So these two softwares I will recommend. And if you can Google and say, what is the best software, accounting software all over the globe, you must see these two softwares, either number 1 or number 2.
Okay,
so they are quite sustainable.
Would you say it's a do-it-yourself kind of software?
Yes, they are very flexible. They are very flexible. I mean, even if you're not an accountant, you're just coming into the game, it's very flexible. It's something that you can use. Anyone can use it if trained.
As an accounting provider, what would you say is needed to set up a firm?
Okay, an accounting firm, right?
Yeah.
You really do not need much. It's not a high-intensive business, but you need to have a good knowledge of accounting. You need to have a good knowledge of using these accounting softwares, because you don't want to get to a client's place and they give you that job and it's taking you forever to produce their reports. Okay, so I always advise that you lay your hands on 1 or 2 of these softwares so you can use it to make life easy, because a lot of clients can't buy these softwares. So we use ours to keep their records for them on a monthly basis. So you just practically need a laptop, a phone, and internet, and you can work from wherever you are in the world. I started remotely and I'm still working remotely. So
why did you choose this business?
I have 2 reasons.
Okay.
Yeah. One was because the project I was given to in school had to do with small businesses. So I was asked to go research about small businesses. And that was far back in 2009. Okay, so when I went to Onitsha then, because my school was in Anambra State, I went to Onitsha. You know, it's a business-prone area. So I visited quite some businesses and I saw that they were struggling. You know, I had to interview some of the business owners, and they were literally crying, you know, how a whole lot, some of them talked about the economy, some of them talked about, you know, sales. You know, they were just, but when I looked deep, I saw that most of the issues they had were operational issues. And I said to myself, what can I do to help these guys, okay? So that they will be able to, you know, thrive in their businesses. They won't have much issues. Okay, number two was the fact that I read accounting in school. And, you know, while I was getting closer to my final year, we had to do a whole lot of accounts, a whole lot of financial accounts. And, you know, you get to do an account of like 5 pages, 5 to 10 pages. And the answer you get in number one is what you're going to use to, to fill up for the remaining. So if you fell from that beginning, you have failed entirely. So I asked the lecturer one day that, is there no easy way of doing this? And he said, yes, that there is an accounting software. That was how I learned about accounting software. And then it was Sage. Sage 50 was what was reigning in Nigeria then at the time. So I said, okay, I'm going to look up, I'm going to check. So by the time I did, it was really interesting. And since then, I never did a manual accounting anymore. Yeah.
It is fair to say you bring value to these businesses.
Yeah.
Or you actually create businesses, actually.
Yes, I do.
Right. It looks very satisfying when you say.
Thank you.
Now, talk to us about the ups and downs in the business, because definitely there are ups and downs, no matter how satisfying it can be.
Yeah. So I'll start with the down. Okay. The downside is, over the years, this is 12 years in this business. Over the years, I've realized that most businesses, they want an accounting system in place, but they're not ready. So you come into a business and you're speaking with the clients, I need this information, I need this, I need that. And they're not cooperative, but they actually called you to help them set up an accounting system. Okay, so, and even when you do, you're telling them, okay, these are the structures, this is the financial structure, you know, that should be put in place. The CEO, him or herself, is the one going against the rules. Okay, so it makes it so difficult to be able to prefer solutions for them. So this is just one.
Okay, in cases like that, how do you deal with it actually, before we talk about
so,
that?
what I do is I speak with them on getting a manager. Okay, can you get someone whom I can interface with? You know, I don't have to call you all the time. And in most cases, they usually look out for one. And then when they do, so I get to interact with the manager. I work with the manager to build those structures, put those systems in place. So what we just do is to report to the owner of the business.
All right. So the ups. I think that's like the only down
Yeah.
in the business.
Well, there are a few, but though they sound a little bit, it's not something I want to start talking about right now. Yeah. The ups, it's indeed lucrative, honestly. You can actually sit down here, implement an account without showing up in a client's office, and you make your money. Okay, so the business is really, really a profitable one.
How
I must say.
profitable?
Very profitable. So you could be making like most times 80 to 90% profit on a particular client. Yes. So depending on the industry. Okay. So usually we make more money when it is service businesses, but inventory businesses gives us serious issues.
So for persons who wants to actually venture into this business, what sort of advice do you have for them?
I will tell them to, I will advise them to work for someone first. If they really want to learn about it, because you need to know a little about a business and how a business runs before you venture into it. Because the business owner who employed you to do accounts is going to be asking you so many other questions, and you have to be competent enough to answer them, to give them, to profess solutions, and that way it is more money for you. So I will advise that get a job somewhere. Okay, you have a goal in mind, get a job, you know, somewhere as an accountant. Okay, be in that job for at least 2 years or at least 3 years. I actually worked for 8 years before I started. Yes. So, but you don't need to be like me. I got my business registered in 2013, but I just felt I still needed to learn more. Okay, so be there for at least 2 or 3 years. Get to know about the business, get to know about the day-to-day, the running of the business, and how accounting can actually help, in making the business thrive. So that's my advice.